the home team will host Otago in the 2014 ITM Cup, and co-commentary a veteran of 60 tests for the All Blacks, Craig Dow.
Yeah, thanks Ken, and good afternoon everyone. It's great to be here in Nelson, sunny Nelson. Special thank you to the Nelson Rugby Club for looking after us, giving us bacon and eggs for breakfast, a big screen to watch the All Black Test match, and a bit of hospitality. Looking forward to these two teams match up, Tasman and Otago, both playing some really good rugby, especially that Tasman team.
Inside line today, one of New Zealand's outstanding broadcasters, Ian Smith. Not a bad-looking Otago team.
Well, it is a good-looking Otago side, Ken, but you get the feeling they're going to be up against it today. They're going to have to get some real go forward up front. That pack and Joe Latter and Franklin and Coltman have got to stand up big for them today. So that back line, which will be guided by Parker, can do some stuff against the side which is playing so well and tough to crack.
And for the home team, Tasman, it's an in-form side with a well-performed type 5.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and none more so for me than Tim Perry, and I rate him one of the best loose-head props running around ITM Cup rugby at the moment. And Samu's said his stats are very, very high, and of course the Frederick's coming in, number 8, for the late change of Liam Squire. But yeah, no, what a backline with Banks, Heem, Melnick, Lowe, class.
And while we adjust the header in the commentary position, what's it like downstairs, Ian?
A little fresh, Ken, it's fair to say. It's a lovely picture across Nelson in the harbour, of course, but what you won't realise, it's quite cold here, and the breeze is coming from the south, which will favour the side playing right to left as we look at it on screen. Ken, I can also tell you, in the last 24 hours, I've had considerable rain here, so there are wet patches on the ground, in fact, some surface water, which is quite rare here at Trafalgar Park.
There's the Tasman team sitting comfortably on 27 points, and obviously a win today will secure a spot in the post-season playoffs. Taranaki and Canterbury already confirmed, and for Otago, well, clearly a 4-try bonus point win today will get them inside the top 4 with a couple of games to play after, so there's a lot at stake here for both of these two teams. The home team, Otago, you saw 3 and 4 in the competition. They put 38 points on Waikato. Their last start, captained by Charlie O'Connell, who played at the back, and then a very strong looking side who played some good football in their last start. O'Connell will have a lot of responsibility to get some go forward. Jaden Spence at midfield. There's a quality player as well, so they have good players in key positions. Tony Ensort, not a lot of rugby from him in 2014, but he's tremendous on the high ball. He's a tough kid and he can run the football. Now the home team, Tasman, Jimmy Cowan, what an acquisition he has been for this team in the off-season. 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 3rd position. A win today confirms their place in the postseason. They put 38 on Southland, 42 on Wellington in their last start. And as Ian Smith alluded to, they are an informed team. Ian playing good footy. Been a great atmosphere just to the left of your screen. It's been the Farmlands Family Day. Today has been part of the atmosphere and part of the build-up. Nelson Bay's Māori and Māori went out in the curtain raiser. And as Craig Dowd said, he's not scared of a bacon and egg. Craig Dowd at the Nelson Rugby Club. There was a tremendous function there before the game today.
Oh, and did I mention the mushrooms and hash browns too, Ken?
Pick a good spot, eh?
Did I mention there's 3 in the commentary team, and thanks very much for telling me.
Fresh coffee. Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Charlie?
Marty Banks.
All good, Shane?
Insult. Robbie Melnick, on the subject of quality players. Tony Ensor, the Kaikorai Club.
Who's it going to be at the front? You? Get them on
Quinton
you.
McDonald will throw to a full line out. Bit of movement in the line before it finds its way on the Otago side. Now Dawai, blindside flanker.
Yeah, no, nice.
Holding on.
Just holding on the ball there, taking the ball into contact. Nice determined run from Dawai, but they're going to have to be dangerous getting isolated against this Tasman seed team. They've got good loose forwards. If you get isolated, they will snivel off you.
And already a small inquisition too in the Tasman pack, because that line out went horribly wrong. Quinton McDonald looking for Joe Wheeler at the back. It never got close to him, so already a chat to see if they can get this one right.
Here's the middle.
Dawai on the carry, and it's a good one. He's conceding the penalty at the end, so Quinton McDonald. Again, there's a lot of movement in the line before going towards the back, and now Bryce Heem has 2 grabs at the football. Jimmy Cowan, you see that surface water Ian Smith talked about.
Double knock on. First by red, second by blue.
Double knock on, you get the ball and the tackle at the same time. It's very hard to hang on to the ball. Tasman players thinking it's inside pass there. Thanks very much.
Mention the crowd, Ken. I've got to say, for Sunday afternoon, this is a fantastic crowd. So the promotion has been outstanding, but they're also a reflection too of the side that's just playing outstanding rugby.
Bind!
Nicholas Ely, halfback for Otago. Ensor,
Blue forwards.
the midfield bomb. Banks looking for the corner, picks up Hayden Parker. James Lowe.
The Tasman win the Yule exchange of game of force back. You'd think in this competition, if you want to enter a game of force back, the likes of Marty Banks and James Lowe, they've got some big boots. And they play that tactical kicking game very well.
On your front, on your front.
Joe Latter. Dawai from a standing start. Easy target for Christie.
Last week.
Ely. Hayden Parker. Low. Melnick. Has a look, Melnick, and then a inside ball for Bryce Heem. Good tackle from Michael Collins. Very good tackle from Michael Collins.
Yeah,
Make the
standing
ball available.
very strong over the ball. Good body position from Jaden Spence.
Has set up. Sure. Set up or after?
Some good signs here from Otago, because they read that impasse. Heem's such a dangerous open field runner. So to shut him down early, and Jaden Spence, you can see him there. He's supporting his own body weight and using the left arm efficiently there.
Franklin at the back. Blake.
Sorry. Yeah, just going through a free there. There's another wobbly throw from the line out. I'm sure Otago will be having a chat about
me, they're in position.
some of their line outs. 2 very good hookers going head to head today.
I need to see that shoulder. If I can't see it, I've got a problem. Hey,
So Otago, they play down the right end of the park.
crouch!
Doesn't necessarily make them a successful side based on where they are on the table.
Bind! Set!
Ely. Connell. Good work. Christie. Good read from the open side. Forte. Good carry from Joe Latta. Blake. Good run, Blake. 5 metres out. Another pick and go. They're in very good position now. Ely goes wide. Parker with a double pump of the football. And then Lowe with a good tackle.
And a good phase of attack from Otago. Really throwing some bodies in there. Everyone getting involved. Just the...
4. One more. Guys, I'm not going to keep repeating myself. You get your gap off the middle, please.
4-man line out. Ainley at 2. He's the target.
Hold it.
Makes the play.
Get back.
It was a nice play for McDonald. Pinches 8 metres. Banks doesn't find touch. Ensor. Forte gets away from the first 2 defenders. Fasil Forte. Ely. Coltman. Support from Latta. Ely. Parker. Under some pressure. Forced to go to the line.
Let him go, Red. Stay last week.
Ely's got Coltman on the right, Blake on the left. A little bit wider now for Sauli. Franklin. That's a good run from Franklin. Made a dent. The opposition defence line, and they're down the right side for Suckling. Continuity is solid, and they've turned the ball over, but they've won the penalty.
No clear release. Still a tackle going on.
Very clear instruction from the referee there. No clear release. Just let go of the tackle player before we can have a crack at the ball. But a couple of good carries there, especially Franklin, really taking the Tasman line on. Yeah, we see the tackler going in. Of course, now you have to let him go.
It's got to move off that line. Okay?
Well, early opportunity for Hayden Parker, who's most proficient goal kicker, and this is from his favoured side, being a left footer, of course. And wind direction, well, it's pretty much behind him, so distance will not be a factor. And really, Otago do need to put some points on the board here, because territorially wise and possession wise, they need to convert.
2-1 advantage in territory, 2-1 advantage in position.
It's hard to believe in that stat when they lost to Hawke's Bay 41-0, but still won the territory battle. Which says Hawke's Bay scored a lot of long-range counter-attacking tries.
X factor of good structure, maybe, Smithy. Parker. Ooh, will bounce the way of Otago. That's come off for Nortia.
Volunteers be brewing touching that because
it's not going into touch to get a scrum or a line out.
he's given possession. They've got an option here.
Charlie, you have an option for a
Well,
line
we
out.
could have a case for an argument. Even
Pretty wet here, guys.
territory
Come over here,
statistic is increasingly becoming irrelevant.
This will be interesting, Craig, because referees moved them infield 5 metres because he says it's just too wet. Put a scrum down there.
Locks in, please. Red.
You don't want to give the front rowers any excuse for a scrum being collapsed. There's enough excuses without patches of water.
Bind.
Tasman have had
Set.
good solid platform all year. Very strong scrum. Look at that. Well, that's Tim Perry on the loose head side, and I said before the game, he's been scrummaging very well all year. Got right underneath Brighouse.
Boys keep moving.
Very dominant loose head prop. Yeah, if we look on the left-hand side there, Tim Perry getting right underneath this guy. That's a lot of strength involved in what he done. Real solid performer at scrum time for Tasman this year. And yeah, there's certainly a lot of good loose head props in the Crusaders setup with Moody and Crockett ahead of him.
Good job, O'Connell. Dawai, again direct with his running. Ely, straight away, Parker shovels it for Michael Collins. Whoa, Melnick, that'll be a scrum for Otago in very good attacking position.
Well, Robbie Melnick will be disappointed with that. Very good performer and experienced player in the Tasman side. The frustration, just taking his hand off the ball.
11 minutes of play, I've seen more mistakes from Tasman than they average in a whole game. And that's just Melnick. There was Fonatia before, when he didn't need to touch the ball, handing possession back to Otago. 2 line-out throws horribly astray. It's just not been the start for the home side. Otago need to make it count.
Sit!
Ely.
It's gone down. Can we have it again, please?
Hustle from Tasman.
Yeah, no, the front row should be turning around to the halfback now, so let's get it in and get it out quickly. The pressure's going to come through like it did before. Tasman are going to want to apply that pressure, so let's not leave the ball sitting there. Let's play.
Crouch!
Marshall Suckling.
Bind!
The right wing is tucked in immediately behind Parker. It's only a short blind, you can see to the right hand side of your screen. There's only 5 metres there, so there's the shape of the Otago back line. So Ensor
Over here,
is coming from deep. Marshall Suckling is coming from deep. So Parker looks like he's going to have 2 waves of attack to choose from, plus whatever 8 and 9 do at the base.
Crouch! Bind! Sit! One again.
Power in the presence of that Tasman front row.
Yeah, I think he's picked on the Otago tight head, going straight down, trying to protect himself. It's Brighouse. Of course, he's having all sorts of trouble with Perry. Having a dominant scrum, Tasman will have no reason to want to collapse scrum there. They'd want to apply some pressure. We don't see it, but on the far side, the Otago tight head to be rolling his shoulder, trying to prevent Tim Perry from getting underneath him.
So McDonald for Fredericks at the front of the line out. Banks. Fonatia, Jimmy Cowan. James Lowe. And Suckling. Marty Banks. Hardly spent any time in the Otago half, Tasman. And Ensor can't take it, so there's an advantage with Tasman. Cowan. He knows the fullback's in the line, so he just nudged the ball behind the defence. It stays in the field of play. And a heads-up play from an experienced campaigner, Jimmy Cowan.
Yeah, no, that was class from Jimmy Cowan. Obviously, Marty Banks, he put the up and under, and man, did he give it some air. But Jimmy Cowan, he looked up, he saw the fullback had come forward. He saw nothing but green grass, and he put it perfectly positioned for a chaser. Hence, no one got there, but good experience from the veteran.
Tasman getting good profit out of front of the line out on the last occasion. Where will they go here?
276.
Going long for Wheeler. It's gone forward off Wheeler. He's having a grizzle to the referee about having his hand slapped away. Bryce Heem. Safety of his own 22.
Big line out issues for Tasman. I think they're going to flag that area down the back away because Otago are reading it. They're disrupting. They've got to use the front.
Dawai. And now Jaden Spence. Ely. Forte at first receiver. Now they get something going. Michael Collins is belted. Ensor gets hit on suspicion. Now Franklin. Sauli. Ely. Spence. Blake. Good tackle. Good solid contact from Tasman.
Number 2, you must make an attempt.
Well, he's got Quinton McDonald for not rolling away, but Quinton McDonald and Shane Christie put a big hit on Blake carrying the ball, but afterwards, obviously being a tackle, he's got to get out of there. Allow Otago time to play that ball.
11 for me. He's tackled a player without the ball over that side of.
There we see Blake carrying the ball, and a big hit there. That was some serious impact. Quinton McDonald's got his hands on the ball, but it's deemed a tackle, so he's got to get out of it.
Well, the areas that has been particularly wet is this near touchline, so that plant foot's going to be a big factor here for Hayden Parker to get that good base. It's not an easy kick.
Get it to bend around just nicely inside the right-hand post. Thought it was going to drift left to right. So Hayden Parker, after 18 minutes of completely dominating territory and possession, they lead by 3-0. Franklin. Safe on the kick reception. Ensor down the middle of the park. Marty Banks is back there. Melnick and Lowe are his options. It's a short chip. That's for Melnick, but on the counter-attack, Forte. An untidy offload.
Not going accidentally into the other guy.
I think both teams will be looking at the mistakes, the errors, the unforced ones especially that they're pushing. And, I'm sure there'll be talk trying to rectify that.
Stop the height on this side, please.
Well, they've got a very good backline, Tasman. Now they've got a quality situation from a set piece where they've got a small blind to operate on, which has attracted a wee bit of defence here on the near touchline, but
Crouch!
they've got to bring Fonatia and Co into this game with ball in hand. They're so good.
Sit!
Fredericks holds the ball at the back. 8-9 play. Jimmy Cowan was available, but didn't get the football. Now Wheeler.
Last feet, 3. Vantage offside.
Halaluka. Quinton McDonald. It's a good run from the hooker. Jimmy Cowan. Banks. It's a cutout ball for Funatia. Goes loose.
Number 3 offside.
Of course, they come back for the penalty.
Number 3 offside.
It's got Brighouse offside. I'm sure they'll. Marty Banks will have a look at the post as he steps up.
Well, he kicked like a dream in Wellington the other night. Pretty similar conditions. Bit of breeze around, keeps the ball relatively low, so wind won't be an issue for him. You would think. Just have a look at where the advantage came from. But, they shut him down well in midfield when the play did go away to the left. Tried to free it wide, and Otago were up to it.
It almost happened here as well, but they were able to bring it back up. He's hitting down. Understand, so give him get it. Well, the other teams will set up. Right? Maybe I'm just talking to them. Everyone listens to you.
Push to the left.
Well, Smithy, I wouldn't have thought range would have been a problem for Marty Banks.
That's timing, straight out timing. Get that at all well.
Banks. Vernon Fredericks. Lines up the first defender. Charges at him. And the drive has continued. Cowan offloads in the tackle for Robbie Melnick, who's slick on his feet in traffic. Banks. Havili. Good player, this kid. David Havili. They concede the penalty.
Well, I'm sure they'll be talking about it, Tasman. As Smithy alluded to before, there's a lot of mistakes made. Simple things like cleaning over the ball and holding your feet, not going straight to ground. Loose passes, line-outs, a number of issues. We see the entry, Quinton McDonald straight off his feet.
Well, this is ambitious. This is around about the 50-metre mark on the angle, maybe a touch more. 400 points awaiting Hayden Parker.
Good player. Parker. Hayden will leave us at wider. Highlanders jersey next few years. Both absolute top quality boys. Parker just away to the left.
Coming out.
A short bomb, and Hayden Spence is thrown over the touchline. That's a good return on the play from
Play on.
Tasman, who get on with it quickly. Christie for Robbie Melnick. He's got Banks on the outside. Then a little inside ball for Vernon Fredericks. And a Jimmy Cowan for Lowe. Tasman finally a bit of time with the football. Wheeler on the advantage line. And a quick recycle. And then a late ball from Cowan, just mixing up the attack. Now Banks.
Offside, 14.
It's against Marshall Suckling.
Well, nice bit of play from Tasman. I think Marty Banks, Jimmy Cowan just decided, let's have a go. Let's throw this ball round and let's take on this Otago defence. Because when they play like that, their offload game's been great all season. And I think they need to start changing the way they're playing and just up the tempo slightly.
Nothing sparks the side like a good line out and a good drive. Get a pack cohesive. There's an opportunity to make some ground. He's a good footballer, Robbie Melnick. He pops up in places other 15s just don't seem to do.
Full run out. Wheeler this time in the middle. And then Samu backs in. They just haven't had any football today. Tasman.
No, things like your set piece. One thing you train all week, you want to get it right. And that doesn't work for you. It all falls apart around you. One thing that has been working for Tasman is their scrum, putting some serious pressure on the Otago forward pack.
Bind! Sit! Hold!
Bit of scrum from
Walking round,
Otago.
coming sideways before you push.
26 minutes.
Well, I thought the scrum, the Otago had they had the left-hand shoulder up. They had the advantage they wanted, and the ball was ready to play. It's got the Tasman walking around the left-hand side, but really there's no advantage for them to do that. It takes their loose forwards out of play.
That's what I'm saying.
5-man line out. It's Latta. Now Dawai. Ely. Pretty ordinary ball for Ensor. Havili with the tackle. Seoli falls over in front of the Tasman defence. Coltman. Again, the speed of the Tasman defence is very good. Ely. And now Collins. Michael Collins with the ball out the back door.
Well, good, powerful run from Michael Collins. Just not quite getting the offload, finding his man, but good hard line. Good, determined run. Just not finding Bryce Heem to get the intercept.
Jaden Spence. Otago again with field position. Charlie O'Connell. And the ball's gone forward. Jimmy Cowan, quick hands out the right side for Samu. And now Bryce Heem. Cowan, nice flat ball for Wheeler. 1-2 play on the edge. A very nice rugby from Tasman, and then through the middle. They keep it alive. This is great football. Wheeler with a bit of ball. Banks. Gee, they were so good, Tasman. Christie wasn't expecting the football.
Well, we talk about the offload game. When Tasman get this game going, they are a class act. Great little break there. Jimmy Cowan carrying it on. Going to ground, Joe Wheeler, and of course, Halahunukuta getting the ball out the back door. And here, Marty Banks just not... Good play.
Yeah, finally some phases, albeit a few for Tasman, that they can build something from, but just that execution, that last pass has been letting them down a wee bit. Jimmy Cowan, he's the player. He's the one that's doing the talking in the middle there, and he's one of the players that's going to have to spark this. That's the reason they bought him. They wanted him up here because they needed a little general. Not so little, he's quite big by halfback standards, but he is the kind of bloke that needs to spark this, and we saw that there. 2 or 3 pieces of handling, a couple of little short in passes, and then the decision to go wide when they had that space out there.
51 tests. Michael Mataafa.
Problem down on the Tasman 22 for Otago. So it will be, by the look of it, Michael Mataafa, jersey 17. And it's a concussion. The doctor has tapped her head. say this will be a concussion test for the Otago player coming off.
Brinkhouse.
Well, you think if he's walking like that, there's no need for concussion test. If he can't walk properly and it's something wrong with the head, then doesn't look well, does he?
Looked like that a few times in my life. I'm not football related either. Nicholas Ely just...
They wouldn't let you back in either.
He was just going home, Smithy. Ely.
Scrum feet. Scrum feet.
Cowan quickly. Trying to provide that spark. Nuku at the back. Now Joe Wheeler.
No.
Cowan. Christie. It's slow. They're running in traffic at the moment. Tasman, that's a good carry from Perry. Jimmy again, Wheeler. They're just muscling up. One pass football to go forward. It's a good carry as well. They've got runners coming on the advantage line, running with a bit of venom as well. Samu does well. Finally some field position for the home team. Cowan from McDonald. 4 metres out. Cowan 3 metres out. Now they go through about 2 metres out. McDonald pirouettes, good tackle. Cowan. Short ball, Fonotia. That was all down to Jimmy Cowan. He took the quick tap. He called the big man to come close. They drove through the middle of the Otago defence. And then a great ball for Fonotia.
Yeah, Ken, you absolutely nailed it. Jimmy Cowan sparked that from the penalty, took the quick tap, and of course ended up in the position they are now. The big boys just started rumbling up, didn't they? Left and right, Quinton McDonald just pirouetting. Been caught quite awkwardly, but managing to get that ball out. And goes Fonotia. Gap opens for him. Try time.
Many thanks to conversion. The Tasman Bulldogs lead by 7 points to 3.
Well, they're getting done for territory, they're getting done for position. They lead on the scoreboard 7-3. Look at this line from Jimmy Cowan. Took out Ely, half a gap. And coming hard onto the ball, Kieran Fonotia, who's having some season in.
Well, that is the problem for Otago there. You mentioned the stats, Ken. I mean, they stand under their post and think, aren't we the side playing all the rugby? Look at the board. Not one of Jimmy's best.
I think he planted in the puddle, Smithy. Didn't splash you, did he?
He got me.
So Coltman for Latta, Parker. And another cutout ball for Charlie O'Connell, the captain. Ely. Blake. Quick hands. This is nice rugby from Otago. And now Marshall Suckling down the right wing. And what a shot from low. Ball and all. Blake. Good run from Blake. Otago with a chance to strike right back. Just outside the 5 metre. Coltman. Dawai. Ely for Joe Latta. Good continuity. Parker. Spence. He's mitts away from a missed tackle and charges over for Otago's first try.
Oh, what a way to answer back. That was very, very good rugby. Great hands from Otago. I think every player in the team getting their hands on it at some point and just applying sheer weight of pressure and possession. Here we see the tail. I mean, it was a very, very good attack, and Spence just brushing off the tackle and getting under Quinton McDonald.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with this, Tasman. They've held their line very well, but It was the tackle of David Havili that was just brushed aside. And yeah, Otago have hit back in the best possible fashion. Worked well off their line out this afternoon so far. Came from a poor clearing kick from Jimmy Cowan, giving them that field position and that possession with it. Failed concussion test, Dowdy, so you could be a doctor as well. You're right.
Nicely done from Parker.
Well, just in the build-up to that, the Otago backline, the hands, shifting the ball with pace from inside to outside was sheer class.
Will be a high-scoring game in the second half. Good job, Franklin. Nicholas Ely, Robbie Melnick, no pressure. Whoa! An easy drop from Melnick. Plenty of time to catch a football.
First knock on, then by Blue.
Well, he saw Hugh Blake coming. Fortunately, forgot about the other bit of it.
Good hustle from Blake. So they're starting the way they're finishing, Tasman. Add to that, 5 wins, a draw and a loss. Could be a rare occasion where they would trail at half-time as Ely pinches some easy meters. Now the chip and chase. Back in cover is Samu, but the ball beats them all. And we're back to the 22 for a restart. Interesting story, Ely out of the Panasonic Wild Knights in Japan, of course, where coach Tony Brown was a player and a coach for 9 years. And Ely now back playing for his old coach in Otago as Marty Banks waits in the 22.
Too late.
He picked up the 20 bucks.
Suckling. Parker. James Lowe. He can run the football low. A little chip and chase for himself. And Parker. Here to take care of business. The ball is slow coming back. Insaw. Melnick. A bit of footwork at the line, Melnick, and then Banks with a half break. A strong runner, Marty Banks. And Jimmy Cowan, David Havili. Cowan, another short ball for Bryce Heem. Cowan, Tim Perry. A powerful game from the Tasman front rower. There's a comfortable run to the line, and once again all over it is the little subtle touches of Jimmy Cowan. The short ball game. He's got runners coming onto the advantage line. He's watching the defence. And another brilliantly constructed try from the former All Black halfback Jimmy Cowan, who was all over that play.
Yeah, it wasn't a great pressure, but Havili just ran straight through the middle of what was 3 defenders. I think they were all looking outside because it was on for Tasman to go outside. So they had their shoulders angled to run that way, but no, he pinned his ears back and he went straight through them.
Well, they've made a strategic adjustment, haven't they, Tasman? Once they've got some decent ball, they've decided to play the game in close and commit some tacklers inside in those inside channels. And that is what is creating havoc. They've had 2 decent possessions around about the 22, and they've converted both of them. That's alarming for Otago, as once again they stand under their post behind on the scoreboard, having done most of the work.
Well, you think it's a pretty simple enough formula. Craig Dowd. Someone from Otago's got to stand up and whack Jimmy Cowan. But they just can't seem to get him with the football.
Well, it's your guard, bodyguard around those breakdowns. You need to get them in place, and you've got to stop them running there. So it forces them to go further out to that third man. But when you play it at pace, guys are going on the ground and getting back to their feet.
Money Banks
You've got defences going backwards.
He's a master at playing in traffic. Jimmy Cowan, the body's all over the place. He's just getting the boys to wrap around him close, come hard onto the advantage line if they can get the ball away in a tackle. And it's proving very effective. Joe Wheeler now gets away from 3 tackles. Cowan goes a little bit longer and wider this time. It's a charge down by Franklin Banks with an easy take.
Well, it was good pressure from Otago. Just getting in close, but forcing the charge down, forcing the line out.
Cotman. And they missed their target as Christie. Cowan says that'll do, they're happy. They're getting flogged for territory, they're getting flogged for possession, and they lead by 14 points to 10. Tasman, and what has been a tough game, on one of their Otago's best players, Tom Franklin, is with Ian Smith.
Tom, well, you must be a little frustrated. You've played a hell of a lot of rugby here and you're slightly behind on the board. What do you put that down to?
Yeah, we knew coming out here that Tasman are a good team, and if you give them a minute, they'll take a mile, and that's exactly what's happened. We've played some good footy, we've been in the half, we just need to capitalise a bit more.
Just got to believe in yourselves. I mean, you scored one good try.
Yeah, we know we can do it. It's just a matter of coming out and beating them with intensity and that, and yeah, as you say, just believe in ourselves.
Go on, mate, go and listen to the message.
2 tries to 1 at the end of the first half. Tasman 14, Otago 10.
It's more than just a game. It's who we are and what we do.
The Investec Rugby Championship, South Africa All Blacks, live next Sunday, Sky Sport 1.
Once, I could have been a brain specialist.
I could have been a skin specialist.
Me, a tooth specialist.
I could have been an ear specialist. But I'm not.
No, sir. Not me.
Nah. At ITM, I'm a building supplies specialist.
So if you're getting really big,
Or you think you're too small,
make a time
to see a specialist.
we'll see you, right?
Come fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's fly, Pack up, let's fly away.
I am very excited to have joined one of Australia's leading spit roast caterers, Coast to Coast, the Golden Roast. And as head franchisor of New Zealand, I'm thrilled to offer franchises throughout our country. View our website, goldenroast.co.nz, to check out all available areas.
all-wheel drive XV Sports crossover. All the best from Subaru.
Ron Burgundy?
Surprise, Big Daddy's back.
What brings you here, Ron?
My friend, we've got a job in New York City.
Whammy!
Anchorman 2, tonight, 8:30, Sky Movies premiere.
It's been an arm wrestle so far here at Trafalgar Park. Both teams playing within themselves, really. 2 tries to 1. 3 tries all up in the first half, but it's been Otago that have had all the football and all the field position. But it's been the home team that's come away with a couple of tries, and here's Jimmy Cowan. He's been at his attacking best in the last 15 minutes. That was from a quick tap, and then look at this beautifully delivered ball before the tier.
Yeah, he just steps out. Bonatier standing right behind Jimmy Cowan, bluffed the defence and scored the try.
And Jaden Spence running hard onto the ball, gets away from the tackle of Havili. 1 missed tackle, Otago are in straight away.
Great build-up from Otago. Spence being on the end of the chain, ran hard, scored the try.
And again, Jimmy Cowan at his absolutely creative best in traffic, creating opportunities. All he needed was runners to hit holes, and Havili hit a good one.
He just certainly did that. He ran through 3 defenders, but ran a clear line. Very, very good try for Tasman.
And a tremendous atmosphere in the build-up to this game here today. It's the Farmlands Family Day. It's been celebrated. Very good crowd here. It's a cool day, but there has been a wonderful atmosphere, a reflection of how Tasman have gone in the ITN Cup in 2014.
And if we look at the stats, clearly the territory is weighted in Otago's favour, but the scoreboard reflects it's the other way around. But there's a lot of mistakes being made from both sides, and I'm sure the talk at half-time is to correct those. If you look at the handling errors and the penalties conceded and the turnovers conceded, all of those will need to be addressed if we're going to have a cleaner game of rugby. But ball in hand and keep it tight. I think that's the way the Tasman have been doing it. It's been working for them.
Oh, the Fishers, the Spars, a lot of atmosphere and a lot of fun here today at Trafalgar Park, really getting in to the action on and off the field. Tasman by 4 at half-time against Otago.
Mike Shepherd.
Shepherd.
Field Crime Inspector.
Coming to Brokenwood.
Just what are you doing in Brokenwood? When everyone's ready.
The Brokenwood Mysteries premieres tonight, Prime.
You know, I could have been an eye specialist.
Could have been a heart specialist.
Me, a tooth specialist.
I could have been a stomach specialist.
But I'm not.
No way.
Not me.
Nah. At ITM, I'm a building supplies specialist.
So if you're getting really big, or you think you're too small,
Make a time to see your specialist.
We'll see you, right?
Little sucking pests can have way too much fun in your crop, till it's far too late. Unless you make the right call early and get Movento to round them all up before things get out of hand. Movento from Bayer Crop Science. Party over, suckers.
Meridian generates their energy from renewable sources, like hydro and wind. The good news is you can join Meridian from here in Fiordland to north of Auckland by visiting meridian.co.nz. They're creating a better energy future.
It's a crime, and it's all too common on New Zealand farms. Pasture pests cost farmers millions of dollars in lost profit annually. For your best chance of pasture persistence, use AR37 Endophyte.
You're not the only one that loves to get outdoors. Introducing the NBR 2013 Crossover Car of the Year, the Subaru Forester. It can if you can.
Our next crop of rugby talent play for provincial pride in an exciting new competition. The Jock Hobbs Memorial National Under-19 Tournament, today Sky Sport 4.
The first half performances of Tasman in this year's ITN Cup is a reflection of where they are on the table. Their coach, Kieran Kane, is with Ian Smith.
Well, Coach, you ran your finely tuned brain across that first 40, and what did you come up with?
We haven't played. Just haven't played. We got to the 32nd minute and started to play what we'd planned. So the message out there is pretty simple. We've got to play. We've got a nice crowd. We want to lift our game, spark ourselves and get into it.
One piece that would obviously also be considered is the lineouts are usually better than that.
Yeah, we preempt the lineouts this time and they got suckered by it. We've just had a yarn about that, so hopefully it's enhanced, Smithy.
Good on you, Coach. Get upstairs then, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Well, thanks to Coach Kane and Ian Smith. Just with the last 10 minutes of that first half, anything to go by, there could be plenty of points in this.
Yeah, you think so, and what Kieran Kane said then, he wants to get out there and play, and well, that's the message. We know Tasman can, and we certainly know Otago can too.
Hayden Parker. Alex Ainley. Christie. 2 forwards to get him ahead of the advantage line, but a great defensive play from Dawa to steal that ball now. Spence puts it along the ground and it sends it out, which gives Otago very good field position.
Yeah, it all started from the tackle where they held him up, created the maul, and O'Connell got in, ripped the ball away.
So McDonald off a set play goes very, very long, and Fredericks does well. And it's a good gain in field position. As good an exit play as you'll see at any level of the game.
No changes to either side, fellas. I just thought a squandered opportunity from Otago off that turnover. They had a situation where ball in hand. They got to trust themselves.
Cotman for Latta. Ely now for Sayule. Ely, Parker, nice short ball. Really putting some questions to the Tasman defence now. O'Connell. Ely a little bit wider for Liam Coltman. Hala Luka with the tackle. Oh, then the loose ball. He was coming at pace for Ta'i. He only needed to get that ball on the chest, he would have been through.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the frustration for the coaches on watching the game. Good build-up from Otago, good series of attacks, some good strong running. But then the offload, the 50-50, not quite finding the man. You see it, turnover.
Cowan drifts to the right side. Little 8-9 play. Puts the ball on the ground and late. A nice recovery from Otago. Ely partially charged down by Samu. And nicely tapped back for Marty Banks from a standing start. Now there a chance out on the left side. James Lowe. Cowan. McDonald on the advantage line. Offload for Bryce Heem. Tim Perry. Tasman starting the second half the way they finished the first. Ainsley just over the advantage line. Hala Nuka, the tight end prop, he loses the ball on the tackle. Now Otago with a long counter-attack opportunity. Got a fair way to go, and they're Suckling with a grubber kick. Robbie Melnick, Marty Banks. Now Tasman think about a counter-attack. Havili with a little chip and chase. James Lowe, Christie. Christie trying to be aggressive and disrupt the ball. He goes again, Christie.
Number 7, first time in from the side.
Well, that was a delayed
Away we go, please.
penalty. It's got Christie from coming in, not coming over the ball, entering the gate, but coming in the side. Several infringements possibly we could have picked up on that breakdown.
Also, your man got to let him get up, so it's a combination of things, yeah?
They see an opportunity there, Tasman, and it's coming on the side. Put some real pressure on the Otago ruck. Ball wasn't coming out.
Go long on the throw, and then Fredericks with the ball out the back door, which sets up an opportunity down the right side. Bryce Heem loses the ball in the tackle. Darwai's been good today for Otago. Back on the inside for Blake. It's a foot race to the goal line. And Hugh Blake from the Dunedin club. Nice finish.
Well, it comes about from turnovers. It's been happening all game, and Blake got his opportunity. Clear set of heels down the sideline. Good try from Blake.
He's been one of their best today, Hugh Blake, and it's been quite exceptional at breakdown times when they stand out, and he gets on the end of this. He's quicker than you think too, because here's an opportunity where this pass, and they've put a few down today. Tasman goes to ground. Robbie Melnick not able to get on the end of it. And good pace there to get away from the dive of David Havili, and bring Otago straight back into the frame.
He's been good today, the 6th, Darwai. His carries in the first half were tremendous that time. He made the tackle, stripped the ball, made a few metres, and then offloaded in the tackle and gave Hugh Blake a free run to the line. 6 and 7 working brilliantly well in this game today for Otago.
Both of them have been working very, very hard. Both teams, though, are suffering from making mistakes, the errors. Darwai stripped the ball, created the opportunity for Otago.
Parker, yes.
Hayden Parker converts the try. Otago leads your Tasman Lightning by 17 to 14.
Offload, and then for the moment Blake caught the ball, it was a try. Flanker too quick for a lock. So Marty Banks, Seuli. Lucy prop to the line. Ely. Driven back on that occasion. O'Connell plays ball for Parker to the line. Parker. Ely. Charlie O'Connell. Ely. Insaw. Suckling. Goes in and then out, tries to get rid of McDonald in defence. Ely, Seuli. Jimmy Cowan onto the front row quickly. Ely, that ball's loose and gone forward. He looks good, this Darwai.
Darwai's playing well, and Seuli got himself involved in a number of carries in. The big boys are starting to step up, carry some more ball for Otago.
First change, and Kieran Kane's seen enough of a slightly slack start after half-time, goes straight to the bench. And it's a big Tavita Thavambati in jersey 18 for the hard-working Alex Ainley. And Tasman have another issue. slightly further down the field, and that is Pete Samu, live wire number 6, has issues, so they're going to run on number 19 as well, and that is Tavita Koalamatangi.
Well, Ian Smith, you'll be getting big raps in Fiji and the Kingdom of Tonga today for your pronunciations. Nisam Bolivanaka to Fijian supporters wherever you are around the world, and Malo Lele to our Tongan supporters. 140 countries taking the ITM Cup in 2014. And we certainly hope that you're enjoying the coverage every bit as much as we're bringing it to you, with Tasman down by 3 in a game. On paper they were favoured to win. Somebody forgot to tell Otago, and they have played with real purpose in the second half as James Lowe gets some go forward for Tasman. Jimmy Cowan. Hala Nukunuga plays half back, and then Fredericks coming onto a short ball. They try to keep the ball alive in traffic. That's been their tactic. Jimmy Cowan. Banks to the line. Banks, he breaks the line. Fornotia came on the inside. Now Cowan. Joe Wheeler. McDonald with a no-look ball. The referee says it's okay. Then that's gone forward. Play on.
Well, that's heart in the mouth stuff. That play there from the back. On your own try line, the ball loose.
21 for 12 for Tasman as well, so a change in the back line, and that will be Mike Wells for David Havili.
No, knock on by blue first. Yeah.
Well, a good show and go from Marty Banks then, deciding to take the line on, taking a half gap, creating some excitement for the Tasman side. But then again, it's the here we see Marty Banks just stepping and going, putting his ears back, and just losing his pants. And here we see this has been a problem for both teams all day, just that unforced pushing the pass too hard.
Stop bleeding, it's just get it off the face.
Right, Tasman, ideal opportunity here. Bryce Heem coming in from the right wing just to have a little chat to Jimmy Cowan as part of this preparation. Marty Banks is the general. Here's Heem listening in just to see where he might be involved. And coming into this back line. Big blind to operate with as well.
Well, this is dream stuff for Tasman because they have an absolutely rock-solid scrum, so they should be able to get very good clean ball off it.
That won't help Tasman. 11 errors to 5.
Crouch!
Christie at his aggressive best again today.
Bind!
Dawai.
Sit!
Very prominent for Otago, the blindside flanker.
On to me!
Bryce Heem is wide, and the blind just standing on the tram line, top right of your screen. There he is. That's Bryce Heem, and there's the options at the bottom of your screen if they want to go on the long side.
Sit!
Again, Jimmy Cowan. Whatever side he goes is where the football will go. And it's a little 8-9 play for Fredericks, who couldn't make the pass. Christie. It's a good run. They need to recycle the ball though. Good job, Otago and Franklin. Put a little tap on Jimmy Cowan. So they have some of this shoulder check. Jimmy, what you got, boy? Nice.
See, Jimmy didn't like that one, did he? You see the move from the base of the scrum. Shane Christos just getting his hands on the ball. Very, very powerful contact. And the turnover.
Here they are.
22 for 15 for Tasman. I got caught up in what was going on out in the middle there. Robbie Melnick and jersey 15 is gone for Mitchell Scott.
The game Sometimes gets a bit spiteful, gets a bit niggly. Whew, isn't that great? Coltman for Joe Latta. Ely. Question for Bryce Heem. Easily answered. Low. Cowan. Banks. Knew straight away it's an advantage with Tasman. They kick the ball along. Banks down inside. He's got runners on the inside and he goes from that Joe Scott. His first touch. He's been on the game just seconds, and doesn't he love the swan dive? Mitchell Scott, that shows you how happy he is to be out there.
Well, I'm sure Kieran Keane's trying to inject something into the game, someone to spark it. Mitchell Scott comes straight off the bench, literally first touch of the ball, and he scores a try.
Hold your horses, fellas. We're going back about 75 metres to a possible Tasman knock-on this touchline. And that's what they're going to be looking at.
Yeah, down there, yeah.
Whose hand first? That's the key, Ken.
Marty Banks threw that pass, didn't he? He knew he was throwing it to a...
Here it is, we're looking at Fornautier. Does Fornautier touch that football?
I don't think he
did. Or is that an Otago? Here it is. Fornautier's right hand.
Suckling or Fornautier? Who first? That's the key.
Oh, Suckling definitely touched it first.
Look, that ball. It's got a... Fornautier's got some of that, hasn't he?
Who propelled the ball forward first? That's the key.
Well, Suckling propels the ball back. He grabs it there and pulls it between his legs.
Fornautier's got a hand on that. I think that's going to be no try.
Yes, Chris. So the ball has gone forward from red into a blue player. So we're going to go back for a scrum.
It's great refereeing, I have to say as well. The referee let the try be scored and then come back and ask the question. So the TMO could have given a hand, obviously, had he not knocked it on. But we're coming back for Fornautier. Just got a touch on the football, but I think that's very good refereeing. We're letting it play out. The referee knew there was a question mark. Let the try be scored and then ask the question.
Two changes for Otago. Well, we see Scott fruitlessly sprint away. Josh Renton in jersey 20 for 9, Nick Healy, and also at hooker, Sam Anderson-Heather for Coltman, who's been carrying a shoulder injury.
I'm sure Otago now breathe a sigh of relief. It all came about, though, what we talked about, the errors from both teams. Turnover ball is the best form to attack from.
Bind! Sit!
Good scrum from Tasman. O'Connell is slowed up by Cowan. Renton goes wide for Spencer, and on the wrap around Marshall. Suckling showed the ball on the inside, went to the line, trying to keep it alive. It's gone forward. Off Renton. Christie. Quick hands. They got some big men out wide. McDonald. Nuka does well. Banks. Squeeze Farouk. Banks. Thrown over the touchline by Michael Collins. A nice period of play for Otago.
Problem back on the 10-metre mark, and that's Tim Perry, loose head prop for Tasman. He's got issues with a calf, a left calf by the look of it. Gee, Dowdy, I reckon he blew it here. Suckling, he goes left, they score.
I agree with you. He made the wrong decision and he threw, again, an unforced pass on the inside. It should have gone outside.
Joe Latta, very good line-out win from Latta. Now the drive coming from Otago. They started just beyond the 5. Now they're inside the 3, inside the 2. Now they're in the end goal. Brilliantly constructed forward drive from the line-out. Joe Latta with the big play to win the football. And then a tremendous organisation by their big men to get the job done.
And still, Dowdy, how key is a loose head prop in terms of helping to defy a drive? He's being attended back on the 10-metre mark, and he'll be gone, Tim Perry, but he wasn't there for this.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's dearly missed. You need your big men in there causing havoc and trying to shut down that drive. But well constructed, take nothing away from Otago. They worked hard right from the front. Pause, and nice touch for the reserve prop coming on, Heather. That's what you want from your big forwards up front. Hooker coming in the base. Anderson, Heather.
I might as well tell you what, Hayden Parker's lining this up. More changes, obviously, for Perry. We're going to see Ross Kaplan-Hayes in jersey 17. But Quentin McDonald, who was involved in that mess up at the back, is going to be replaced by Jesse McDonald in 16.
Parker, accurate. Simple game. Line out drive, Tim Perry, he was missing in action defensively, so there was 8 Otago forwards on 7, and when you're such a prominent presence like him, as Ian Smith alluded to, Dowdy, that's a big absence.
Yeah, huge.
Suckling, he played a role in that try as well as O'Connell taking on Glendon Hiss. Cowan straight away, a loose ball is offside.
Well, 10 points down. Can ask the question, take the easy 3.
Okay. Ball's knocked forward into a blue player.
Here we see the ball's on the ground there. And he gets pulled back in.
Yeah, it was good upright defence, wasn't it? Yeah. It was good strength there. Golden Hayes just on the park, so he was instrumental in that. Charlie O'Connell trying to free it as he went down. Actually hit the leg of Golden Hayes, and then of course, he can't have any rights to the ball while he's lying on the ground. Dragged it back in.
Come on, Jimmy, there's still time.
Banks.
34 to 17.
Come on, Marcus, reset, let's go.
Peter Samu. Parker. Jimmy Cowan. Felix. Banks. Forte. Insaw. Midfield bomb. Forte on the chase. Christie. Cowan. Banks. Running from James Lowe. Cowan. Banks. Cut out ball for Thabambati. Cowan. James Lowe. Banks. Inside ball, it's loose. Ball went backwards. Gilden Hiss. That's a good run from the front row. Cowan, again another short ball for Bryce Heen.
Low boys!
Mitchell Scott. Banks started left, whipped around to the right side, to the line. Banks, tackle made by Blake. Oh, Blake was the tackler. What was he saying? Ruck formed.
Yes, you're a tackler, but you're too slow to it. Ruck and form.
Okay, so he's saying the ruck had formed. But it's a good series of attack then from Tasman. They decided to go to the big men. They made about 30 metres up the middle, then shifted it wide, and I just wondered whether Marty Banks might have got himself slightly isolated there.
Yeah, it's a good call. Dowdy, I reckon Tom Franklin had a few rights to this as well, a number 5 coming in. So it was a line call from referee McBride. Saw it the home team's way, and after a small deliberation, Christie said, Marty Banks, 3 more, please.
Well, of course, this will bring them inside 4-point margin. Sitting in the scoreline at the moment, it's no good to them. It would only give them a draw if they scored a try, so it's all mathematics, isn't it?
Yeah, there's plenty of time. And there's plenty of attack in Tasman. We know that from the way they've performed through the year, so take the points, get the ball back from the kickoff, and start again. It'll be their agenda from this point if they can make the play, and they can't. They'll get the ball back from the 22 anyway.
18 for 4 for Otago. So Jackson Himopo in jersey 18 for Joe Latta.
He's been good, Joe Latta. He won the line out that saw them get that drive. He's been very active in the game. Marty Banks. Fredericks. Charges at Himopo. That's a good run from Fredericks. And now Thavambate offloads a ball and a tackle. It's gone forward.
Forward into the blue play.
I think there's some attack to come in this.
Yeah, no, it was good run from Fredericks and then carried on from Kevin Party, but just Lillicky once again, the offload not finding his hands. Good injection from Fredericks. It was a good, powerful in the contact. Fought hard to get. Where he went to Kevin Barty, carries it on. Just that offload. Killing both teams today.
Bind!
It's one of the hardest things to defend against.
Set!
Players offloaded in the tackle. Josh Renton. O'Connell and Jimmy Cowan with some hustle in defence. Stopping O'Connell from clearing the ball quickly. 3 or 4 big statements in this match from Jimmy Cowan as they go long for James Lowe on the return and gives a ball for Wells. Cowan, Banks, inside ball for Mitchell Scott. Showing some energy, Mitchell Scott. Banks. A ball over the top for Wells. Difficult for him to do anything with, so he tries to recycle. Cowan gives the ball short.
Release 12.
Heen charges at the line. Now Golomatangi and Thavambate made early impressions from the bench. Cowan isolated.
Leave it now,
Renton. Parker, the little double pump, the chance down there. Left side, Collins. They've been stripped of the ball. It's a great defensive play from Golomatangi. Now Thavambate. He's been good. Cowan. Golomatangi. Yeah, Banks. to the line. Banks looking to offload to someone. Now Jimmy Cowan. Shape to go left and then offloaded for Fredericks. Good defence from Hugh Blake. Cowan. Christie. Renton over the top. Here come the home team. Oh, look out. Big proper balls loose. Jimmy Cowan. He set up the first 2 tries and he scored the third. And it was his hustle and defence that got this play started. Jimmy Cowan.
Well, it just popped up from Halanuka, did very well. Great strong, got him close. Popped the ball up for Jimmy Cowan, who just rolled over. A good, determined series attack from Tasman. Here we see the strip from Tasman getting the ball away. Kalawatangi. Frederick spinning in the tackle. Of course, from here on in, just the big boys carrying up front. Shane Christie did really well, got close. Halanuka, powerful, nearly got there himself. And look at this, just pops up. Jimmy Cowan, thank you very much.
Good injection of pace when they needed it. They really need an incision, and that came from the skipper, Shane Christie, who's once again brought his side back to within reach of Otago. This goes over. She's all tied up with 15 to go, and who can pick it from here? It's been such a topsy-turvy affair. Not an easy guy to replace in any side, Liam Squire, but Vernon Fredericks has been fairly evident today, Ken.
Yeah, no, he's been good. His carries have been good. He's been physical. He's a big bloke as well.
Changes for Otago at the back, 22 for 14. So that's Kieran Moffat, and he's in for Marshall Suckling, and Peter Breen in 21 for Tony Ensor. Jimmy Cowan, all experience, all strength, and all wherewithal as to exactly where the white line was.
Well, all 3 tries today have come from close quarter, round the ruck. You'd think they won't be changing their tactics now.
Cowan. Powerful work being done again by Fredericks. And James Lowe. As good an exit play as you'll see at any level of the game. This kid, James Lowe, was a schoolboy sensation. New Zealand secondary school centre, can play fullback, started today on the wing. 14 appearances for the Chiefs this year, James Lowe. Kid's in great form.
Straight. Otago will be not pleased with that one.
Well, they're arguing that the lineup wasn't properly formed, in which case they didn't have to throw it straight, but Kane McBride had other ideas. And just at a time where they don't want to give Tasman a sniff, they have.
Just on the balls, it takes 2 from the opposition to form a line-out, so there were 2 Tasman players there, at least.
So 24 all, less than 13. Well, he's running the show, Cowan, at the moment. Back to New Zealand after a stint with Gloucester in the English Premier League. Of course, 51 tests, part of the Rugby World Cup winning team. He's as tough as teak.
Yeah, look out, Dowd. He's going to sort a few of your blues out, boy.
Well, I'll have to say, a nice firm hand. Pass mask cracks a whip every now and then. Doesn't go astray, Smithy.
Fredericks holds at the back. Marty Banks to the line. Inside ball for Fonotia. Has been quiet today. Thalambani with a big right-hand offload. Wheeler needs some support. Cowan goes wide for Michael Wells. A couple of right foot steps and he's taken in midfield. Tasman energised by the last few minutes. Wheeler. O'Connell with the ball and all tackle on the advantage line. Hala Nuka. Cowan. Banks. Fonotia. Quick hands. Quick hands for Lowe. James Lowe is shot. This could be a big moment in the game right here for Tasman. The pick and go now from Geldon Hughes. They rip her out of the open side. The referee says still short. Cowan goes a little bit wider. Wheeler loaded up to the right side. Michael Wells, one-on-one Wells. Tackle 2 metres short. Christie, good line from Christie. He fell short of the line by a metre. Now the pick and go, yes! The big crowd at Trafalgar Park, they're through with the comeback of the home team. But get closer and it's Geldonius.
Well, the big man stepped up, didn't it? Started right back midfield with Kavambati. Great runs through the middle. Wheeler stepping up, getting close. The ball was never going to go wide. Forwards decided someone from them was going to score it. Here we see the run from Kavambati. What a great run. Fantastic offload to Wheeler. And that just created the pressure.
Some great patience here, you know, because on a couple of occasions they could have blown this by stretching out too far for the try. There's one of them where Lowe just maintained his presence of mind, and there's the finishing of it, but just good patience in the build-up there, and good body position in the end has meant Tasman, not for the first time today, I hasten to add, have got the lead, and there's still plenty of twists and turns left in this game. 19 for 6 for Otago. Josh Dixon for Darway.
Smithy, a real bugbear of mine is when you get 5 metres out from a try line, you've got to weigh more than 110 kgs to pick it up. These little guys trying to have a dab. Give it to the big fellas, and Glydenhurst showed us how.
Banks has hooked it just to the left-hand side. There's 120 kilos Ross Geldonius out of the Lions and the Cheetahs program. Is with the Waitohi club down there. Too big and too strong for the Otago line defence. That's a big try. Darway's had a good game today, the blindside flanker. Parker. Immediate contribution from the impact players from the bench for Tasman, particularly Thavambati. He's still driving and going forward. Nice job, Jesse McDonald. Christie gets through the first tackle. Takes the second one with him. Marty Banks misses out Wells for Lowe. Oh, it's a loose ball. It's an intercept try. Michael Collins is going to be run down by Bryce Heane. Run down by Mitchell Scott. They're still in trouble, Tasman. Hayden Parker looks for a play. Now they go long. Seuli inside the Tasman 22. Josh Renton. Got O'Connell on the left. Goes behind him. Now the attacking kick. That's for Forte. Facile Forte. Does he get a hand on that ball? The referee says it's knocked on. They come back for a penalty.
Well, what an intercept, Michael Collins. Hard in the mouth stuff. The Tasman fans could not believe it. Tasman are going to have to be very, very careful where they're throwing the ball around.
Decision time. 5 points the difference.
Less than 7.
Waterboy says kick for goal. He's brought the tee out.
Was he waiting for the word upstairs? The Waterboy got the message, no doubt. But here we go. Collins just plucks that ball out. Of course, he got mowed down.
Good job, Mitchell Scott. And then Forte. ball back from the kickoff. Less than 6. And it's the home team by 5.
Oh, it's a bad miss, isn't it? Marty Banks hasn't been assist today either, so goal kicking has not been one of the factors that people will talk about.
Here he comes again, the big front rower, 120 kilos of South African beef, offloads in the tackle. It's continued by Christie. Jimmy Cowan just keeps chipping away at the Otago defence, and Scott can't make a play on the ball. Michael Collins tries to secure it. Now Renton, Dixon, it's away from Christie. Belted by Kolomatangi. Then they go longer. Parker. Parker's on the outside. Good tackle in the end by Marty Banks. Renton. Quick hands down the left side. Forte.
Wow, this is good rugby. Very exciting stuff. Every time Shane Christie touches the ball, he creates something for Tasman. But Otago not giving up. Barely strap yourselves in for the last 5 minutes. This is going to be a humdinger.
Hey, Blue.
Less than 5. The clock. And 5 on the board. Jesse McDonald. Front of the line out, Kolomatangi. Bryce Heem at first. Bryce Heem breaks the line, looks for support. Keeps the ball alive. That's great play. Good support. Heem, it goes again. Bryce Heem. Cowan. Wells. Bit of support from Scott. Cowan, a little bit wider for Fredericks. Fredericks, can he free the ball up? Cowan couldn't make the pass. Cowan, yes. For Kolomatangi. Held up, just short. Cowan, just wide for Lowe. They score here. I was about to say they score here and that's it. But they're not going to.
Yeah, look, Tasman have been dangerous all day when they play straight through the middle. The big boys carrying the ball. They try to go wide too early. I don't think it's the conditions for them.
Great incision, Bryce Heem. Wonderful timing of that run. Step off the left foot, bursting through this Otago defence, which is missing a lot more tackles now than it was previously. And I still say, Craig, you've talked about scrum dominance. It was a tough pass to take out in front with those defenders. That scrum dominance, this is going to be an issue here for Otago.
Well, the South African tight head Glydenhurst has come on and he's added real impact. He's played well, as is Kevin Barty. Looks good carrying the ball. Nearly decided to do a sidestep and fell over, but he didn't. He kept trucking forward. I'm with you, Smithy. This will be a big scrum.
Crouch!
Otago need to roll the dice.
Bind!
Let's see.
Sit!
The time on the clock. Oh, he's lost the ball. So it'll be a reverse scrum unless they can even get a try. Jimmy Cowan.
I echo your thoughts. That is experience.
What a game he's had today, Jimmy Cowan. Another big defensive play. Renton, both hands on the football. Perfectly timed. He's around the base. Forces the knock on. Tasman with the scrum and a chance to have the last say.
That's great effort, Jimmy Cowan. That's what the big boys like to see when they lift their heads from the scrum. They created a turnover. Their halfbacks done something for them, something special.
Crouch!
Now they go about their work.
Well, Banks is quite wide here, and Lowe is right behind him, so it's quite a distance between the base of the scrum out to Banks.
Oh, leave it in the boot. Leave it in the boot.
Here they go. Fredericks controls at the back. The ball's loose. They're forced to go on the ground. They get it back. Christie! The big left-hand fend on O'Connell. Cowan assessing the options.
You take the scrum, don't you? And you leave it in the boot. The backs have had 78 minutes to do something with it. It's time for the forwards to front up.
Oh, I don't know.
Tasman scrum's been going very well.
No, they're going for goal. Shut them out. That'll take it to 8 points.
Quite right. I wasn't doing my maths, just getting excited about having another scrum, Smithy.
Yeah, I was with you too.
No.
I think the forwards deserved it.
A minute to kick it.
May have been Josh Dixon, was it, reaching over onto Jimmy Cowan?
Sure, he'll take a whole minute, as much as he can.
Tell you. So they can hang on in these remaining seconds. 4 try, a bonus, a point win, and a team promoted from the championship at the end of 2013 will confirm their place in the postseason playoffs for 2014. What a ride it's been, what a success it's been in front of their big home crowd on the day they're celebrating families and wider communities. They celebrate and they salute their side. This was a tough, tough game against a respected and valiant opponent, Otago. And it was only the last few minutes, and it took a 51 Test All Black veteran with the calm head and the cool situation under pressure to come up with some very big plays in the second half.
Yeah, he did. No, Jimmy Cowan, he muscled his forwards around the pack. He sat him behind. But I mean, look, Otago were good today. Both teams played a lot of rugby. Errors let them down, but there was no lack of effort on both sides and a very enjoyable finish. And you must say, a well-deserved win for Tasman.
Shane Christie, destructive today. His opposite, Hugh Blake from Otago. He had a tremendous game as well. The impact players from the bench for Otago couldn't quite have the same influence that the Tasman players had. Marty Banks, not a great day with his goal kicking by his usual high standards, but he was a very strong contributor to the result. The individual star of the day, no question, was former All Black Jimmy Cowan. And the captain of a delighted Tasman team, Shane Christie, is with Ian Smith.
Well, Shane, that says 32-24 on the board, but it didn't look that way for quite some time. It was mixed performance.
Yeah, it was. They just brought